Welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Detroit Lions once again here tonight because they're making some moves. First off, a couple of hours ago, they just hired Casey Rogers as their next defensive line coach, and they are set to interview former Detroit Lion from, I think, 2009, Larry Foote, to be the defensive coordinator. So things are cooking. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they're already making moves. They're making interviews, and you're going to see some coordinators get hired real soon. But first off, we'll start with Casey Rogers as the next defensive line coach. So according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Lions are hiring Casey Rogers as their next defensive line coach. He fills the exact role left vacant when Terrell Williams left earlier this week to become the New England Patriots defensive coordinator. Now, Rogers was just the run game coordinator and defensive line coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He has also spent the last 6 seasons with that team. The first 3 was just as the defensive line coach, and then the following 3 were with the same role, but with being the run game coordinator added to his responsibilities. So I really like this. He got a lot of interest across the NFL, and you're seeing a lot of Todd Bowles' coaching staff, whether it's offense or defense or management, just the Buccaneers management staff. A lot of these guys are starting to get picked off. And I'll just say this, because I live here in Tampa, as you guys know, or maybe now you do. Probably nobody knows that. But anyways, I live here in Tampa. A lot of Bucs talk going on. What Tampa's been able to do after their 2020 Super Bowl win is win 4 straight NFC South titles. I mean, this team usually when you win a Super Bowl, and especially the way Tampa did it, where a lot of it was draft, but they also brought in obviously Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Jason Pierre-Paul, et cetera, et cetera. Usually what happens is there's a fall off after you win a Super Bowl because you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. And Tampa's done such a good job, whether it's their management staff, their personnels, you name it, coaching staff. Tampa's just a really good, well-oiled machine, and people are kind of figuring that out now. But folks, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we're talking about the Detroit Lions recent news. Try and get this video to 100 likes, folks. That would mean the absolute world to me. We're less than 400 subs away from 2K, so I appreciate you guys so much. I got this quote here from proudofdetroit.com from my favorite Lions writer, Jeremy Reisman, and here's what he had to say. Most notably, Rogers helped the careers of defensive tackle Vita Vea, William Golston, and even helped our old friend Ndamukong Suh in the twilight of his career. I don't really love Suh because he stomped on Aaron Rodgers' hand many moons ago, but I loved him on any team other than the Detroit Lions, but obviously my Lions fans probably adore, rightfully so, Ndamukong Suh, but that one always rubbed me the wrong way. In 2020, Rodgers earned the John Terrelink Defensive Line Coach of the Year honors given to the NFL's top defensive line coach as voted by NFL coaches. In 2024, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ranked tied for 6th in sacks at 46 and 4th in run defense, giving up less than 98 yards per game. And if you're wondering why Dan Campbell just hired him, they crossed paths when Dan Campbell was in Miami as the defensive line coach from 2008 to 2014. So that's where they crossed paths there. This guy's a master of his craft. And I don't know too much about Casey Rogers other than what I've read since the last hour or two since he became the official D-line coach. But everybody seems to like him, and the more you look into it, the more you just kind of smile on your face like, oh yeah, I like it. So this was kind of my whole ethos in the last week or so with the Detroit Lions coaching staff. Obviously you lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and then you lost guys like the dude we just mentioned, Terrell Williams, who went to be the former defensive line coach who went to be the DC for New England. My whole point was good coaches hire good coaches, man. There's no reason to overreact. And even using Tampa as an example, 2 years ago they lost Dave Canales, who resurged Baker Mayfield's career. He went to go be the head coach for the Carolina Panthers. They hired Liam Cohn, and they're even better. Baker Mayfield just had career highs again across the board. The Bucs were a top 5 rushing team after being the worst rushing team in the NFL for the last 2-3 seasons. And now he's about to be the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. So my point just is, you lose coordinators. This is just what happens in the National Football League, but good coaches always hire good coaches. So that's why I feel very comfortable, and I just honestly feel fine about the Lions coordinator situation. At the end of the day, there's still so much talent on this team. Now I'll get through the next news before we talk about the Lions defense. So the Lions are set to interview Larry Foote